had that on camera, the whole doing the...
Zeus does karaoke.
Yeah. Okay, that's really funny you said that. Every 3 months I change my first question because you get asked the same shit again and again and again.
No, we don't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the first time every time.
So my first question, of course, is always fun, and the rotation right now is, what is your go-to karaoke song?
That's one for you, really. I don't sing karaoke.
Mine is I Want to Break Free by Queen.
Nice. Oh, that's a good one.
Freddie Mercury's very tough, though.
Yeah, but you can sing. He can really sing, so that's a great one.
Thanks, Henry.
You can, mate. Cheers, mate.
I'm genuinely excited for this movie. Sometimes people say that shit before, when they're doing an interview, they're like, oh, I'm really excited. No, I'm really excited for this. I love Tarson's work. Could you sort of talk about how I know this is a little generic, but we're so far out from the release, a lot of people aren't going to know about it and who you play. How did you guys first get attached to this, and was this a project that you both went after?
Shall I start?
Yeah.
Well, this film had been around quite a while before it actually went into production. I think it was scheduled to start like a year before it did, right?
At least a year, yeah.
So I know Henry and I were both aware of the script, and Henry probably more than I was. And then I think I was sort of floating about with in Tarson's brain for quite a long time.
Scary place to float about.
Yeah, really scary, very colourful.
Yeah.
Finally it all worked out. It was timing and scheduling and the role and all that. And I remember Tarson calling me while I was doing a movie in Newcastle in north of England, and he said, you have 7 weeks to get in training, and you need to, if I give you this role, you're gonna have to go to Montreal like as soon as you finish and go onto this crazy training regime. And I was like, great, this is a challenge, this is something I've never done before, and that's how I basically got involved. But I'd known about it for like a year before.
Yeah. For me, when the script was first sort of being bandied about with Tarsem, it was late 2008, and went in to meet him, and he sold me this thing like nothing else. It was incredible. His sell. He showed me all the visuals, concept visuals he had already put together at this very, very early stage, and I walked out of that room going, I want to be a part of this. I really want to be a part of this. Tarsem was quite fond of me to play one of the roles, and went into audition for Theseus, and I did the screen test. Actually went straight to screen test, and he basically just did the whole sliding scale. He made me play Theseus in as many ways as possible, because the script was in its very early stages and he wasn't too sure which direction it was going to go in, so he wanted to make sure that I could play whichever direction we chose it to go. I managed to pull it off. I don't know how, but I did. and I got the job, and that was it was planning to shoot a few months after that screen test, but then it got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and it was over a year later that we actually started shooting.
Changed name like 4 times.
Yeah,
and everything. I mean, it went through a lot of transitional moments and until we finally started it. But it was funny because I think it needed all that time. It needed Tarsem to tweak and change and have it in his headspace, because by the time we did start shooting, everything was so solid.
Yeah.
The world that he'd created wasn't. He did every question you asked Tarsem about the world that we were going to inhabit, we could answer. There was nothing left to the imagination, or that, we haven't thought about that yet, And so that felt
and show us a painting.
Yes, and a 3D model.
Yeah,
that's who he is.
Well, you can see the poster behind you guys, or the half-sheet poster. They released all the character posters yesterday. It says, from the producers of 300. This is obviously, you see people, swords, stuff like that. Could you sort of talk about the differences between 300, or maybe if there's some similarities, or for people who are a fan of that movie?
I think obviously the similarities are the fighting nature, the action of it is visceral and exciting. So that's the major similarity. I think the major difference is that 300 is an event story, where Immortals is a journey involving many different chess pieces. And you get to follow a character and their story throughout, as opposed to it being just one event.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's a fantastic way of describing the film.
Yeah, Mr. Evans concurs.
I concur.
Have you guys seen, they're showing the teaser trailer today at Wondercon. Have you guys seen any final footage from the movie, or are you seeing it today for the first time?
I think I've seen the teaser trailer. I'm not too sure whether it's changed from when I saw it or not. But very excited. Very excited.
That's all I've seen as well. I mean, I did do a tiny bit of ADR when I was in LA a couple of weeks ago, but it was very, very small amount. And there's a lot. There's reshoots we're doing and ADR, and there's so much to do. So we probably won't get to see the final specimen until much later on in the year.
Well, the thing that I found about Tarson's work previously is that it's very stylized. There's certain shots that seem like you wonder how the F did he put this together. Is this that kind of style, or is it more of like a typical narrative, way? Do you know what I'm trying to?
Well, I remember Tarson saying in an interview that he said that this film would be like a mixture of Fight Club across with Caravaggio, like the visual of it. And I was telling Henry earlier on that there was a scene that he was in that everybody was talking about, this big fight sequence, and everybody was saying, if you get a second, you should go to the studio and see it, because it's a sight. It's unbelievable, because it was so intricate, You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was incredible, and I went and stood there. I didn't even need to look at the screen, because what I could see with my own eye was breathtaking. It was like a painting, a Caravaggio painting, and he is an artist, Tarson. He's a director and or the storyteller, but he is an artist. He has an eye. I mean, if he could pick up a paintbrush, he could have drawn this. That's what he's like. He leaves nothing missing. It's all filled in. So
you see a complete finished work when you walk onto one of those sets. They really are breathtaking, all of them.
Talk a little bit about, with him as a director, and it's so stylized, how much did you guys have the ability to improv on set or find things on set, or how much as an actor do you need to know exactly what you're doing prior to that shoot?
He gave us a lot of freedom to work and do what we wanted with our character, while working within specific guidelines that he gave. And if anything went too far off track, then he'd turn around and say, right, okay, now play it down this line or play it down that. I like what you're doing there, but what we're trying to achieve in this is that. And so he gave us a lot of freedom while giving us a very specific guideline to work within, because he knows exactly what's going on at all times. He knows exactly what emotion he wants people to be feeling at that particular moment. And so he will guide us as actors to try and achieve that with an audience member.
Yeah, and I think a good director will always listen to the actor, and I think we all tweaked our lines, to make them sound correct in our mouths when we produce, when we say the line, and there was things I was saying, and I remember having a brilliant day when I spoke to one of the older actors in the movie, who's a legend, and I sat with him and talked to him, and I said, this isn't working right, and he just said, well, just swap that there, move that round, and that sounds right. I said it, and it sounded right. I took it to Tarson, and he was like, yep, great, whatever, do it, perfect. I trust you, and that was nice, because we trusted him, and he trusted us. He cast us because he believed in what we could do and what we could deliver, and that was a lovely thing. But we all did it, didn't we, with the script? I remember.
Yeah, we all changed it. So it was very much a team mentality. It's sort of, you'd sit down and you'd work it as a group and say, what works best for you, what works best for me, and then Tarson would come in and put his 10 cents in as well, and it really did just work. It was a great machine.
300 led to a lot of other projects for the people involved. It was a big hit. Fans loved it. Are you hoping that perhaps you'll land another gig after this comes out? People will see you. You might get cast in something else.
For goodness, let's hope you get cast in something else anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was actually just, my joke didn't work at all. I'm not very funny, but I'm actually excited about...
Didn't get it. That's our fault, not yours.
No. You both actually have stuff coming up that I'm very excited about, and I definitely, before I run out of time, like there's a minute left, want to talk about it. You have Three Musketeers coming out, which I'm curious about. You obviously have some hero movie, which no one cares about. Let's talk about Three Musketeers and the other stuff that's going on with you.
Yeah, well, I went straight from Immortals to the Three Musketeers, which we shot in Germany, in Bavaria, and castles and residences all over. It was epic, and that was shot in 3D. We used the Vincent Pace, James Cameron technology, which was on Avatar. We had 6 of the cameras on our shoot. I think they only had 8 in existence at the time, so we were very, very lucky. And it was a very interesting process to be able to see playback on huge flat screen TVs with glasses. It was always in 3D, and the depth was always the most staggering thing as you saw the scene, because everything was alive, and there was like, you felt like there was 60 layers, you know, and that was very unusual to watch. But it was a great film, full of action. I was right where I needed to be when I started it, because I'd just come off Immortals. I was a bit bruised and battered, and a few cuts, and you know, weary legs from all the exercise. But you know, I was in a very good place. It would probably been a little harder if I hadn't have come off Immortals, but yeah, that's what I did, and then I did The Raven after that with John Cusack.
I could talk a lot about that. I'm not a big fan of that director,
but you can't. So Henry, talk about your silly film. No.
And obviously, for fans of Zack Snyder and Superman, I guess could you talk a little bit about how you're getting ready to play this character?
At this early stage, it's just doing some foundation training. The guys from Jim Jones, Mark Dwight, is training me, and he's given me I've done about a month so far of foundation training. Really hard stuff. Just get my body used to the real stuff, which is coming up soon. So at the moment, it's just getting my body in the right aesthetic shape.
Well, two quick things I just wanted to say. I heard you're filming in Chicago. Is that true?
Possibly. I don't know how much I can tell you.
Okay. Well, I'll just say what Zach has said, and he talked about how it's going to be very realistic. That I'm a big fan of superhero movies and blah blah blah, and the whole realistic aspect of it sounds really cool.
Yep.
Which again, Zach has said. Is that something that excites you about the?
I think it's just a great way to go, because superheroes themselves are so unrealistic that to add a realism to them just makes them more easier to associate with, and it attaches more directly to a real life imagination.
I know I'm going to have to wrap with you guys, so I'm both going to say enjoy being semi-anonymous right now for both of you, and I'm genuinely looking forward to Immortals. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.